Welcome everyone to another Directions Mag Geospatial webinar sponsored by our friends over at Esri. I am Barbary Duke, Managing Editor here at Directions Magazine, joined by our Assistant Webinar Producer, Lynette Qualia. If you have any questions about your connection, just drop us a note in the chat. We'll do our best to help you. We encourage you to read our new feature articles, daily news, and of course, watch more webinars, always free for geospatial professionals at directionsmag.com. We are standing by to take your questions. Type those into the question box at any time during the webinar. We'll answer as many as we can at the end for our Q&A time, and anything that we can't get to, the good folks over at Esri will follow up with you. We are recording today's webinar, so keep an eye on your inbox in the coming day for that link, as well as an attendance certificate. And we appreciate your opinion on the polls and the post-webinar survey that will come out to you as well. So today we are excited to connect with the talented team of ladies. Harshi and Maria are with us, and they have some amazing examples on how ArcGIS Hub can make meaningful community engagement really easy. So great to have you with us today, ladies. And Harshi, over to you to get us started.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction. So a very good morning, and I guess good afternoon, depending on where you are, to everyone here today. And I'd really like to thank you all, first off, for taking the time to be a part of this webinar. And I'm hoping that you enjoy it and you get to kind of understand how you can use ArcGIS Hub to keep your projects moving forward, right? And engage with your community in really a very meaningful fashion. So I am Harshita Dundapati, and I'm a product manager on the ArcGIS Hub team. And I also have here with me Maria Jordan, who works in product marketing in the Hub team as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so let's just get into it directly, yeah? So most of the challenges that we as a society are facing today is spanning over multiple jurisdictions. For instance, let's consider climate change or the recent pandemic, that's COVID-19. It's not something that's confined to a single area or a person or a city. It's something that we are all facing in the whole globe unitedly, and we want to work together to combat it. So with these rising challenges, it's become really common for our regional governments to adopt initiatives that are highly evolved in terms of diversity, reach, and impact. And with this comes a new set of trends as well as challenges. Firstly, we are seeing this trend of continuously growing responsibilities because there are a wider range of initiatives and wider the global challenges that they're addressing, and they're also working to serve as a bridge between the levels of stakeholders, that's your government and the public. The kind of responsibilities that they are shouldering is also intensified. And there is a really unique and evolving set of requirements that they're facing as well. There is a huge amount or large volumes of high quality data that's at their disposal, which means they need to adopt tools, techniques, and modern methods to utilize this data and make data-driven decisions. And there are advanced techniques of engagement and collaboration at their disposal, which essentially means every nook and corner of the world can be kept informed at all times on what's happening around them and what you as leaders are doing about it. And the kind of challenges that follow this is also really diversified in nature. First off, transparency. Transparency is not an option, it is an absolute necessity today. And coordinating between your multiple stakeholders is definitely a very complex task. And because there are a lot of time-intensive workflows that you're working with, depending just on your legacy tools is a very big challenge. You have to adopt new techniques, new products, new methodologies to kind of coordinate between all of your stakeholders and maintain a really transparent approach. This kind of leads us to the next segment, where I want to kind of highlight what the desired pattern of collaboration and engagement we at Hub believe you should be establishing with your stakeholders. And the other side of that, the flip side of that, is what are the common challenges that most of the organizations are facing in terms of collaborating and engaging with your stakeholders. And stakeholders could be your internal stakeholders, such as the staff, or your external stakeholders, such as third-party agencies, the community, your public at large, and so on. Let me just talk about the desired pattern. It's really important to have a shared vision. You want to make sure that your goals and ideas are communicated really well to every single person who has a stake in your project and get their approval, and make sure that all of you are working together towards a unified goal. This basically means you have to engage with them in a meaningful fashion. Make sure that their feedback is heard and include them to be a really important part at every stage of your project, and collaborate with them to get information from them, to get data from them, and also give them back the results and tell them what's happening when it is happening. And all of this is an attempt to get their early buy-in so that you can avoid conflicts in the later stages of your projects. And all of this ties back to building trust. Trust is what you want to gain with your stakeholders, and just make sure that all of you are working together towards a united goal. The flip side of this, that's the common challenges that we see, usually begin at the very inception of your idea or vision, where you've not communicated well with the stakeholders involved, which means there might be a conflict in every single stage of or advancement of the project. And because there are so many levels of your stakeholders that you're involved with, it can get complex to communicate with them, and engagement can get limited, which basically results in your limited public participation as well. And all of this kind of ties back to a lack of trust between the organization and the stakeholders. And this is exactly what we want to avoid. And at Hub, we do believe that it is possible to flip this pyramid and establish a desired pattern of collaboration, which helps you not just get engage with them meaningfully, but also in the long term, build trust with the people who are involved in every stage of your project. So I want to just take a few minutes to talk about one of the most amazing implementations of our platform that we have seen in the recent times, and that's by the Maryland Department of Transportation. So they have actually used Hub to address most of the challenges that they were facing and establish a really well-rounded desired pattern of collaboration and gain their community buy-in from a really inception stage on all of their projects. And why is this exactly so important? It's really important to understand that every project has a direct impact on the safety and comfort of your people, right? And people get bothered when their comfort is disrupted, but they want to know what's happening, when it's happening, and what you as leaders are doing about it. So most of the projects also have multiple contractors, which means all of your websites have a very diversified design, feel, look, and pattern to it. And sometimes the information that's coming on these websites might be inconsistent. And you can also have expired links and websites. So that there are a lot of challenges when it comes to kind of juggling between multiple projects and making sure all of your public or your community is kept informed. And why should your community be informed? Well, most often than not, you have really a small section of your population who know where to find the information on what's going on around them. They're vocal about it. But you also have a larger section or subset of your population who have absolutely no idea where to go in and get the information. So they just tend to quietly sit and really not understand what they can do, how they can give their feedback to you, and they just don't know where to get all of this information. So it's really important that you address all of these challenges and adopt techniques and adopt patterns of communication which ensure that every single person, your community, your collaborators, your partners, all have a single platform to come in, give their feedback, communicate, and update people about what exactly is happening. And that's exactly what Maryland has done with their project portal. So they have implemented a project portal, which is essentially a hub site, which offers a complete comprehensive view of all the projects that the Maryland State of Department, this is the Department of Transportation, has taken up. It gives a very easy access to every single specific project information, be it the overview, maps, supporting documents, and so on. And you can search for all of the projects that are going on by their location, or you can also browse through the list of the projects and get their information. Although this sounds really simple, it's actually a very complex task because Maryland has 7 highway districts, and they have 22 counties and a total of 117 projects. So navigating between 117 projects and keeping it updated at all times is definitely a very humongous task. And most of all, maintaining consistency between these project pages was one of the key challenges that they wanted to tackle. And that's what they did with Hub, right? And it's a collaborative effort. It's not one person who's standing up the site. You have project owners, your Department of Communication, your GIS person, who are all working together in a collaborative effort to stand this entire project portal up. So let me just give a very quick tour of the Maryland project page. So this is the project portal, or essentially the hub site where Maryland Department of Transportation is showcasing all of their project information and data. So as soon as you enter this page, there is a really well-rounded interactive map, which kind of showcases all of the different projects that are going on. So if you just click on that, you get a lot of information right here, such as which phase the project is in, which jurisdiction or city or town, and are there any news releases for this particular project, and so on. And so this is an easy way in which you can just access the projects that you're interested in learning about and just get some quick information here. Or you can also search for the project or the area of your interest and take a look from the search bar as well. And as you scroll down the page, they've also included some really good information, right, about some mapping applications that any visitor or any viewer to this page can actually go and explore. And they have a really cool way of breaking down all of their projects by phases. So you can see how many projects are currently in the construction phase and how many are in design phase and so on. And they have one featured project that they keep rotating and changing, which is basically highlighted in their homepage. And they also have a section on events. If at all there's any events that is taking place, any community meetings, it would be highlighted here. And of course, some contact information. The other part of this is their project list. So once you click into this easy access link or the bar, all of the projects would be listed on this project page. So like I said, they have 7 districts. So they have grouped all of the projects under each of the district and subgrouped them based on their counties. So if I just quickly open one of these pages, you could see that this is the project page, and anyone who's interested in this project page can just go in and follow it and get timely updates. You have the overview of the project. So essentially, this is a completed project. But you can get updates on this project, the schedule of the project, some graphics related to it, documents, and events, and so on. So this is really a well-rounded approach to keeping your community informed at every single stage about what is the project that's going on and which stage is it in, and so on. For instance, this is another project which is in a construction phase. But the overall look, feel, and the kind of information that you get from each of these project pages is kept consistent throughout. So let me quickly switch back to the presentation. So now that we have had a quick look at the Maryland DOT project portal page, I'd like to kind of highlight a few quick points. Hub is now the one point of entry for Maryland DOT to put all of their information, which avoids confusion and wastage of effort. It's a lot of impact with less effort, right? And you have a consistency that's maintained across the entire platform. But in terms of public now have a single source of truth. They can only follow the pages that they want to follow, and they can get as involved as they want. They can participate in events, they can participate in surveys, ask questions, and stay informed. So it's essentially a very well-rounded approach. So just the organization, it's not just the organization, but even the public can get as much benefit out of such a portal and just basically ensure that all of them are in a single platform, communicating together and working together. So this leads us into exactly understanding what is Hub and how can Hub help you and your organization. Hub is a cloud-based engagement platform that helps you collaborate more effectively or work more effectively with your community. And when I say community at Hub, we mean it in a really broad sense. It could be your government, it could be businesses, it could be NGOs or journalists, essentially any third-party person or external collaborator that you want to work with and make them a part of your project comes under the umbrella of community in ArcGIS Hub. So why exactly is it necessary for this level of engagement that we're talking about? Every time you take a new project or a task, you have a small subset of your staff who is working on it and trying to reach a really broad set of your audience. But there could be value in engaging and collaborating with your potential collaborators, who could be some external NGOs or other departments who have valuable information and resources with them. The other side of this is there are people in your community who want to engage with you. It could be people who have some information that they want to provide you with, or it could just be volunteers who are excited to work with you and be a part of your initiative. So at Hub, our whole idea is how can we focus all of these different levels of collaborators, bring in an engagement between them, and ensure that all of the work that you're doing on your projects or on your initiatives are amplified and they reach a really broader set of your audiences, even the difficult to reach set of audiences, and keep them informed at all instances, at all times. So I think it's time for a quick poll.
So let's have a look, and it looks like everyone wants their cake and eat it too. All of the above wins the day at 62%. All right.
That's awesome to hear that people are looking for these ways to build trust and kind of connect all the dots. So keep listening, and Hershey's going to share some of the interesting ways you can do that with all these different groups.
Jumping right back into it, it's really great to see that you understand the collaboration is not just about your internal stakeholders or one set of your external stakeholders. It's just about bringing everyone together, right? So that they can work together on your projects and drive shared goals. And that's what Hub helps you do. That's what Hub helps you achieve for your organizations. First and foremost is promoting transparency. You can just basically make sure that every single person who's involved in your project knows what's going on, updating them, and just getting their buy-in from a very initial stage. You can also establish shared project visions. You can coordinate between the different departments using Hub, and you can have shared goals and track progress, track how exactly you're achieving your goals and which stage is it, and so on. And you can also establish a really well-rounded external stakeholder collaboration. And when I mean collaboration, it means you can get feedback from them, you can get information from them, you can get data from them, and use that in your project and actually showcase the results back. And you can actually make sure every single person who's contributed you with content knows what exactly you're doing with it, and just keep that two-way communication established with them. And most importantly, there's sustained engagement. It's not about informing them today and forgetting about it tomorrow. It's just making sure that in a very sustained fashion, everyone knows what's going on, everyone is involved, internal, external, all sets of stakeholders, and they can be an effective part of your initiative or your project. And diving right into understanding the specific features of Hub, we think of Hub in 4 use patterns, or these are the 4 patterns of use that we have seen our customers mostly engage with Hub in. First and foremost is to convey information on topics that are most important to them. And second, to share data and content with a broad set of audiences. And also to collect your data and feedback from the community. And fourth, to organize a deeper sense of collaboration. And all of these 4 patterns of use actually map to specific features on Hub. First being the sites, which helps you put all of your information in a really streamlined fashion and convey all of your information to the public. The second is our inbuilt search tool and catalog, which allows you to display your authoritative data in an easy to find and easy to search pattern. And Hub also gives you the ability to give out community identities to your stakeholders, your external stakeholders, so that they can be a part of your initiative and work with you together. And of course, we have an inbuilt initiative framework, which is kind of, it encapsulates a lot of the things that are a part of your initiative. It could be your apps, it could be your content, your data, the people who are a part of your organization. So it's just a really nice framework with which you can establish a deeper level of collaboration. And ArcGIS Hub is a cloud platform. It is built on top of ArcGIS Online. And if you do have your ArcGIS Online subscription, you already have access to the basic version, which essentially gives you the one-way collaboration capabilities. But if you are looking for a more deeper set or more deeper way to engage with your stakeholders, you have to go with the premium version, which gives you the access to community identities and initiative frameworks as well. So let me just first go into how you can use sites on the Hub to convey information on topics that are kind of really important to you. And when I say sites, it essentially means websites. With every Hub site that you create, you have a basic layout template that's given to you. And to build a site on Hub, you do not need any sort of coding knowledge or any GIS background in specific. We have a set of drag and drop configuration options, which you can use to not just build your site, but also style your site. So you can have a Hub site up and running within a matter of minutes, even though you don't have any coding knowledge or any GIS background. It's just as simple as that. And what's the thing that sets our Hub sites apart from other websites? First is the ability to basically integrate all of your content, be it the content that you have developed on your own, or you have some external third-party content. You can put all of this in a single platform and display it on your Hub site. And configurable branding options. You can make the Hub site your own. You can brand it to the dot so that it looks and feels exactly like the other platforms that your community is used to. And third, you can have a really well-rounded global navigation system that you set up using the links and pages. There are specific features that help you establish a well-rounded navigation experience on your Hub site. And we also have a built-in analytics tool, so you can actually see what the engagement looks like on your Hub site. How many people are coming onto your site, what's the engagement that's happening, and so on. So when I say integration and branding, the reason I bring this up is because it's really important that you have to have a platform that can be integrated with other websites or other platforms that you're already working with. And with Hub, that's possible. For instance, look at this example of the DC Mayor page. So once you go to mayor.dc.gov, there's the entire page of DC Mayor that pops up, and there's a section on the initiatives that the mayor is most interested in. And once you click in on the transportation link, a Hub page opens, which gives you an access to all of the data that is associated with the DC transportation. So into an existing website, a Hub page can be easily integrated. And the vice versa is possible as well. You can create a Hub page, and you can also integrate your other content that's already existing on your web right onto your Hub site. And with custom branding, you can have your own URLs, custom domains, logos, fonts, and layout patterns, so that your customers or your community builds trust in this platform. They don't feel that it's something out of the blue, something out of the new. Rather, they're used to the look and feel of this, and they can actually navigate through this in an easy fashion. And this is just a very quick snapshot of how our users around the globe are interacting with Hub. They're using it for a wide range of initiatives, and it's really amazing to see the kind of things that you can do with Hub, from conservation to financial transparency to using it for just your neighborhood projects. I would really encourage you to go and look at the gallery page on hub.arcgis.com, and you can explore as many of these hubs as you'd like, and it'll give you a really wonderful view into what you can do with this product. So like I mentioned, site creation is a very easy, customizable process, which does not require any coding, and you have multiple layout options to choose from, and you can actually control who gets to view your site and your data as well. So let's just take a very quick look into this. So this is exactly how your hub overview page looks like. So so with the hub overview, so essentially you have the page, you have a place to create your new initiatives, a place where all of your content would exist, and also a place where you can basically go in and see who is a part of your community and what's going on there. But because this is premium, I have the section for community. If this was not premium, I would not be having that. So let me just go ahead and show you how exactly you can create a site. It's as simple as just going in and clicking on new, and you can give the name for your site. And once you do that, just click create initiative, and that's it. Your site would be created. And while the activation process is going on, you just get a few quick tips on what exactly is happening at the back end of it. And once the activation is completed, you will be taken to your site where you get a basic layout, right? You get an already built-in layout for a site that you can explore. So this is a model which helps you walk through the different sections of our site. Like you have the content library, you have the groups manager, you have dashboard. So it's an easy way for you to just click on one of those links, go in and explore and get a feel of the different parts and different features that are a part of your hub site. So the left side, you have the customization panel where you can find access to every single setting of your hub site. So once you go into the main settings, you can change the name of your site. You can add in a summary description. And if you have Google Analytics, you can add link to the Google Analytics there. Or you can also give in a custom domain, depending upon your needs for customization. And in the beta, even you go into beta, you can also include the site translation tool. And once you go into the header option, you can style your header as you would like. Again, you can go in and brand it as per your requirements. So you can add a name. So say I don't want the name of test123. So I'm just going in and changing it to whatever I'd like here. So let me just give this a name as this is my test site. So it's as simple as this, right? I'm not using any coding, but still I'm able to style my site. I can add a custom logo and I can add links to certain existing content or a website right here, and it would essentially appear on my header if I do that. So, and you can also add your social media links. You have Facebook link, Twitter link, Instagram link. So everything is actually integrated into Hub. And when you go into theme, you can set the color, you can set the background color, body text color. So once you set your organization theme here, it would reflect on your entire site. And in the layout options, like I mentioned, all of these are drag and drop options. It could be statistics card, it could be an image, it could be a text card. So you have multiple options to choose from. And because you get a built-in layout, you can explore it easily, keep bits and pieces of it that you would like. If not, you can just scrape it and start from the very beginning. And each of these layout options, once you run through them, you have a small pop-up modal that explains what this card is all about. So let me just go in and pull a row and place it here. And let me see if I can add a text card to this particular row and style it easily. So just pulling in a text card, placing it here, that's it. You can just type whatever his information you'd want to. You can style it, change the font, change the design, and go in and change your row settings. So I want to add a background color or an image to your background. You can do that as well. Change the text color to whatever you would like. Oops, that's not a good option. So let me go black. Okay, yeah. So you can just change the colors and so on. So really, this is all a very simple process of styling your site. And in a very similar fashion, you can add your content, you can add maps, you can add different apps that you'd like, and just style your entire page to what you would like. Okay. So now that we've had a quick run through of what a hub site looks like and how you can very quickly start creating a site, let me just jump into the next usage pattern of Hub, that is sharing data and content with your community. So Hub site essentially has a built-in search tool and a data download tool. This basically means that all of your content can be very easily searched by your community members. They can download it if they want. They can use it in their own applications and basically make sure that all of your information is easily accessible. And how exactly does this content appear on your site? And how can you manage which content basically appears? How does it appear and how to organize it? It's all a very simple task, really. You have a content library on your hub site. Every hub site comes with a content library, and that is where all of your content would be hosted. You can add URL links directly to your content library, or you can pull in the content from your ArcGIS Online organization, or you can also link content from other outside groups and bring it into this library. The generic search tool will help display all of your content, or if you want a more organized way of showcasing it, you can use a category card or a gallery card, which allows you to just group bits and pieces of your information and basically showcase it on your hub site in a more streamlined fashion. But say it's not just your content. You have other external agencies, such as your neighborhood organizations or an NGO, who have some really nice information, and you want to pull it into your hub site and showcase it. That is possible with the help of a groups manager tool. So you can actually bring all of this external data and authorize it and showcase it in a fashion that you would like. So it's not just your own data, but it's basically data across the platform, across other ArcGIS Online groups or your other agencies that you can bring in together and showcase it on your hub platform. And that's exactly what North Jersey Transportation and Planning Authority is doing. This is a really nice way in which they are encouraging their community to come in and explore the different data sets that they're just made it publicly available. And they also have a really cool call out section where they're stating that these data sets are very commonly requested by their partner counties and the state planning agencies, and that they're free to download and use. And they've also used category cards, like I mentioned, and they've grouped their data into transportation, economy, and different sections. And at the bottom of it, they've also added a section where they encourage interagency data sharing. And by that I mean, they're actually encouraging the community as well as the other agencies to come in and contribute their own data so that they can showcase it on their web page. So you have different sets of data that are coming in into a single hub site and being displayed in such a fashion that it's really easy to navigate through it, download it, use it, and draw insights from it. So the next aspect of Hub that I particularly really like, that kind of promotes your two-way engagement, because whatever we've spoken until now is about one-way engagement. The two-way engagement really comes into picture with the introduction of community identities, which helps you collect data and feedback from your community. So with ArcGIS Hub Premium, you get access to your community org. You can actually give out community identities to your external stakeholders. And by external stakeholders, I mean anyone who is not a part of your organization. It could be volunteers, public partners, your NGOs, and so on. So they would actually be nested in their community org account, and that will be linked back to your original employee org so that there could be a transfer of data, transfer of information that's going on. And every community member has a set of privileges that they're provided with. They have the ability to create or manage a user profile. They have the ability to join a team in your initiative, contribute their own content, respond to surveys, and so on. But all these sets of privileges that they get is highly configurable one. As an admin, if you feel you want to limit the privileges that you're giving them, that's possible too. You can just go into the community org and play around with the settings, and you can actually give them only access to those parts of your initiative that you are comfortable with. And managing your community org is actually a very simple task, really. Everything on Hub is a one-click sort of a solution. You really don't have to go in for any custom settings to do that, and you can control all of this right on your Hub page or on your Hub site. I've taken up the example of a DOT, but this really is something that applies to every single project that you take up or any initiative or any department at large. Say you want to interact with everyone, right? You want an open engagement. For example, it could be the public. You want every single person in your public to be able to follow your site and create an identity there. That's possible. You can just turn on the follow button on your initiative site, and anyone who comes across your site can click the follow button and create an account for themselves and be a part of your initiative. And it's also possible to allow social media logins to your hub site. So it all depends on you. If you want to allow these kinds of sign-in experiences, it's possible. Or if you want them only to create a hub community account, that's possible too. So as an admin, you have a lot of privileges to set what would be the sign-in experience for your community members. The other side of that is a selective collaboration. Say you just want to invite members to your hub. You don't want everyone to be a part of your initiative. You just want to invite a select few. That's possible too. Say that could be your data providers or other transportation agencies. You can send them an invitation, and once they accept it, they can create an account for themselves and be a part of your initiative. Or if you want a more safeguarded approach, you can ask them to send you a membership request. Anyone who wants to be a part of your org can send in a membership request, and only the ones that are approved will be a part of your community org. So you can have a completely open engagement or a really selective collaboration. It just all depends on what your requirements are and how you want to collaborate with your community. I think it's a time for another quick poll.
It looks like winning the race at 46% is collecting data and information, and coming in close behind it, identifying areas of improvement or focus.
So those are both great ways that you can use surveys in hub sites to collect data, as well as other ArcGIS apps that allow you to bring information back into your hub site or into your data-driven decision making. So let's hear from Harshi to hear some more about that.
Yes, thank you, Maria. It's really great because all of the options that we actually presented to you are things that you can do on Hub using our feedback forms or other features that really help you to collaborate with your stakeholders in a very effective fashion. And feedback forms are nothing but your survey forms. And Hub has a completely integrated survey 1 to 3. So you can create your survey forms or your feedback forms right on your Hub site and share it with people or groups that you want to share it with. You can share it with your whole public or your community, or you can really share it with just subset of your community that you want to get your information from, and analyze it right on your hub site and showcase back those results so that everyone get to see what exactly was the results of the survey and so on. And I really would like to highlight a few of the techniques in which our users across the globe have been using feedback forms to really get that deeper level of community and interagency engagement and collaboration, specifically on projects. First of that being consultation on your project proposals. For example, if you go to the Catchment Monitoring Cooperative Hub site, they're doing a fantastic job of kind of collaborating with their stakeholders on their projects from a very initial stage. This from the very beginning, at the inception. They provide a video overview of their project proposal and a link to the proposal itself. And any community member or the member of the public who wants to be a part of this planning process can view these two, go back to the feedback form and give their thoughts and ideas about it. So you're getting an early buy-in from a very initial stage. And it's also possible to collect the public input and concerns via these forms. The Vision Zero Columbus Hub site does this. So they also have implemented a map-based feedback system. So say a pedestrian who's walking on a particular route just finds that there are some potholes here, or there's the need for extra crossing lanes. So they can just go in, search for that location, and log in their feedback and log in their concerns and inputs, which would help the city in better planning moving forward. And of course, getting data related to your projects is very, very important. And that's exactly what Jersey City Master Planning Vision is doing. And that's what I think most of the people on the poll answered as well. And that's exactly what's happening with this initiative. So this Jersey City Master Plan basically kind of created a very elaborate feedback form, which takes about 15 minutes for the people to finish. But at the end of it, they have provided so much of information on their community that it helps the planning committee identify which of their initiatives are most important and they have to start working on it right away, right? And also what strategies are the best to implement for a particular locality. So it's really about collecting information from them and giving back the results of what they have collected to the community. And it's also possible to share your project process and the success stories and your results back to your community, and that can be seen by the Fed's Feed Families initiative. So gathering feedback or information from your community could either be an anonymous process, that is, you can just create it. There's no need for the members who are submitting to the survey or submitting their information to specify who they are or what exactly their goal is. But if you want to have a more deeper engagement, you can request that people create an identity first. That is, they actually be a part of your community organization first and then fill out the survey and provide information. So it's again totally up to you how you want to collect this information and feedback from your community. So the last portion of this that I'd really like to focus on is how can you organize a deeper collaboration with your community. And like I mentioned, with Premium, you have access to an initiative framework that kind of encapsulates your different aspects of your initiative, such as teams, messaging capabilities, event creation, and so on. So with an initiative framework, you have the ability to not just kind of create or like display your information, but also really manage your teams and community and track the performance, like what exactly is happening and so on. And I'd really like to talk a little bit about team management aspect of it. Say you have a site or say you have a new project or an initiative that you've started. Usually you have the core team, that's your staff that's working on it, and maybe a few people from your other departments. And what they're trying to do is reach a certain set of your community who essentially are anonymous to you right now. But if you introduce community identities, that is, if you start giving out the ability for your community to come in, follow your initiative, it could lead to them being volunteers in your project. And this basically means they have the ability to reach out to a larger or a broader set of your audiences or the public, which you yourself might not be able to. And with this comes the ability to collaborate with them. That is, you can have teams on your initiative with some members of your internal staff and some members of your external collaborators. So this is where the whole team management and team collaboration comes into picture, where you have different sets of your people or collaborators working on shared visions and working on shared projects. Or you can always create a separate team of just your external stakeholders. Say you have an NGO that you want to work with, and you want to give them a specific task or a project in your initiative. That's 100% possible. You can just create a separate team for them right on your initiative and collaborate with them. So with this feature of team management, it's really possible for you to create different sets of collaboration and share specific content with each team. And it's all up to you how you want to leverage the team enabled collaboration and engagement on your hub site. A quick example of this is with the city of Istanbul. So every time a public member wants to reach the city council to give their feedback, there is different levels of authorities that they need to navigate through. To kind of eliminate this and to bring in a more more safeguarded or a more informal approach, the city council has adopted a hub site and created a teams which basically consists of staff liaisons. These are the people from their internal staff, and the community advisors, who are people from the community. So both of these teams work together in one space so that the level of engagement between the city council and the public is really great, right? Now the public can give in their opinions and their feedback, and it will directly reach the city council. So this is how they've leveraged the team management, where they have both internal stakeholders and external stakeholders working together in a single team for achieving their unified goals. And the final piece of this is the site and engagement tools. And the reason why I bring this up is because with your Hub initiative, with the premium version, you get access to Hub templates. Hub templates are just one-click solutions for you to kind of get your Hub site or your Hub initiative up and standing. It includes pre-populated sites, pages with layout and styling options, and it also includes some of the apps which are already a part of your initiative. The reason behind this is there are certain problems or there are certain challenges that all of us are facing today. For example, homelessness. It's not something just one city or one town is trying to deal with. It could be one of those challenges that many of them simultaneously are trying to deal with. So instead of having to create the same hub site time and again, we have done the research behind it, and we have put together a really modern and ready-to-use website which you can launch with just one click. You can populate this template with your own content, your own data. You can style it as you want and just have it up and running in a really short period of time. And something that's really relevant to our talk today is the Encourage project feedback template. Because we understand how important it is to communicate with the community about the projects that you have taken up and get their feedback, we have created a really amazing template for this. So I would really suggest you to go into the template gallery, which is absolutely possible for you to browse on our hub.arcgis.com, and kind of take a look at this template, which gives you an idea of how you can leverage the different Hub features and functionalities to encourage your public to provide their feedback on your projects at every single stage, and how you can use this feedback to drive change. And the last portion of this is how can you create your own templates? It's not just the templates that we are providing you. It's absolutely possible that you can create your own templates. Once you have an initiative that you've worked on, you've styled it, it's beautiful, it's really good, you can create a template out of it and repurpose it in different departments or in different projects. And that's exactly what our Maryland Department of Transportation is doing. So I'm kind of ending it where I started. So like I mentioned, they have 117 project pages. So how are they standing it up? And how are they maintaining that consistency? It is through the use of templates. They have created one single project template, which they get it up and standing every time a new project comes. So say there's a new project in a different county that's starting. They just activate this project template, populate it with that specific information of the project, and within 30 short minutes, they can have a new project page up and running on their Hub site. So basically, once you utilize this feature of templates, it becomes very easy for you to manage multiple projects, create a consistent look and feel for your pages, and just make sure that it's easy to update it. Even people from communication backgrounds or marketing backgrounds with no coding experience can still work on these pages and manage it and have it updated at all times. So this is where I'd like to end the presentation today. And I really hope you just have a little bit of idea or something more than what you started this webinar with about how you can use Hub for your different projects, and how can you keep your community informed and engaged at different stages of your project, and just really establish that well-rounded two-way communication with them. I think that's the last poll for today's webinar. And right after that, we'll go into talking a little bit about our resources.
Right. So if you are interested in getting a free 15-minute discussion about your project, click quickly. So that goes to the first 10. So we'll give folks a moment to do that very quickly. All right. And Maria, I think that you were going to share with us some resources that are available for folks, and then we'll get into some Q&A.
Yes, I want to invite you all to come visit us online. We've the URLs here showing on the screen will take you there. There are some quick links. So first of all, our overview page on Esri.com has many other examples that you can read case studies and stories about work that our customers have done, the success they've had. We just launched a brand new Hub Resources page, and that's that second link there. We launched it this month, and I'm excited because it's a really great one-stop shop for you to get quick links over to our Learn lessons. So we have lessons in the ArcGIS Learn organization where there's individual lessons as well as discovery paths that you can follow. There are links to our YouTube playlists, quick links to our newsletter subscription, an ebook, just blog links. So a filtered link to all of our blogs that are Hub related, featured blogs, quick links to our online help and documentation. So it's just a great place to find training options, books that you can read, user guides that we're working on creating more and more user guides. So please visit us there. There's also a gallery. That third link is a Hub gallery where you will also find what we call Hubspiration. So the inspiration to look at other sites that are similar to what you might want to be creating. And then, like I mentioned before, we have a Hub newsletter, so please subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. I'm tweeting every day and finding interesting user examples as well there, as well as pointing you to the latest and greatest blog posts and information and how-tos. So, and lastly, we do have a user lab. So if you're interested in participating in our user research or providing feedback on new functionality, that's also an option for you as well. You can find the link for that on the resources page. So thank you for joining us, and we'll get on to the questions now.
So quickly, if you have, someone wants to know if you have premium and you start by creating a new initiative, but if you don't have premium, you just have to create a site, but not an initiative. Is that correct?
Yes, essentially. Initiative is not something that's completely different from a site. It just comes with a few additional features, such as the ability to create events or more of the two-way engagement, right? But a site, most of the features on your initiative, such as the ability for you to put your content up there, your layout options, and all of that remain pretty much the same. So with the basic version, you would be only able to create a site, which gives you the one-way collaboration. But with premium, you get the additional features of two-way engagement, which is what we call as an initiative.
Perfect. So that takes care of another question that was asked about the difference between the two, but I think that covers it. So the next question for you, Harshi, is why can't we just use a story map? Why a hub?
A good question, actually, because I know that Story Maps it's an amazing tool, right? That I know many of our customers are using. But the reason why Hub gives you so much more to do with is because it's based around community engagement and really driving the deeper collaboration. Story Map is a part of Hub. Like, you can use your story maps to be featured on your Hub site, or even create a story map on your Hub site. In fact, with the premium capabilities, your community members can also go in and create a story map. So while story map is a really good way for you to showcase your content, with Hub site, you have features to create, say, events and different collaboration techniques, which would not be available essentially on story map. So the way story maps and Hub functions are two different things. And I'm actually really open to talking about it in a deeper way and a deeper collaboration. So you can just send us an email or subscribe to our newsletters or one of the resources, and we'll be able to get back to you with more information on that.
Perfect. So someone would like to know, with a university maintenance subscription, do they have access to premium? And if not, where's the right place to go to learn about that?
Yes, so essentially with your university subscription, you do get premium. So you can actually contact your account managers, because they would have really detailed description of what exactly is available and how to activate it and so on. And I think Maria, if I'm not wrong, they can send in an email, right, to be contacted with the account manager?
Yes, I meant to mention on that overview page, our hub overview page, there's a form at the bottom. Please submit any questions you have there, and reach out, and someone can get back to you to help answer those questions.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you were mentioning working with community members through the hub. And so someone wants to know, do community members need an ArcGIS Online account?
No, so that's one of the really neat features of Hub. So they don't really need an ArcGIS Online subscription. They could very simply create an account on your Hub community org. So they'll be given an identity. So they really don't need an ArcGIS Online subscription. In fact, they can actually log in using their social media logins, such as Facebook and Google as well.
Oh, that's very cool. So how do you change the size of an image card?
Okay, I think that's a little bit more of a technical question,
Okay.
and that we can always set up a time to talk about it, because it would require a
Perfect.
demo. Yeah, so please, again, just reach back to us with these specific questions. Or there's this, they can also send their questions to Ask Hub. So any technical questions, Ask Hub, and we can always reply back to that.
Wonderful.
And set up a time to talk about it.
And I would guess that
Yeah, that address is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that address is ask and then a hyphen hub at esri.com.
Perfect. We'll share that in the chat for everyone so that they can do that. And two, I'm guessing that some of those things might be over on that Learn site on the how-tos, I bet. All right.
Yes. There's a lot of stuff on our Learn site, and once you go through the resources, you can actually find tons and tons of blog posts and information on many of those commonly asked questions.
Wonderful. So we'll squeeze in one more question here, because we are almost out of time, but such a great information that you shared with us today. So can you integrate anonymous surveys or Survey 123 forms into ArcGIS Hub Basic?
Yes, so with Basic, you can create surveys, and essentially it is going to be anonymous, because you don't have the capability to give out community identities. With Basic, you can collect anonymous information. And actually, the example that I showcased during my presentation, I think that was the NC1 map, it was the Basic version. So that's the reason it was anonymous. So yeah, it's possible.
Well, thank you, Harshi. This was wonderful. Such a great presentation. And I know that I'm inspired to go work on my hub for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for organizing this. And I'd really, again, like to thank everyone who participated and who posted their questions here. And we would really like to get back to all of them. So just give us a few weeks to maybe just, go through these questions and try and reach back out and provide you with more information.
Wonderful. So folks, just a reminder that you will get an email from us. So keep an eye on that inbox, and that will include some links for you from today, as well as a link to your certificate and a recording of the webinar. We also appreciate your opinion on the survey on the way out. Special thanks again to Harshi and Maria for sharing their examples and expertise. It was really great. And we just hope everyone goes out and makes it a great day. Tell a friend about Esri, ArcGIS Hub, and Directions Magazine. And we will see you at another webinar. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.